Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev, and Pranam.
Who put it on in the morning?
I think Sukeshwari Mataji unmuted herself.
He was speaking for a long time and nobody closed her.
Sorry, Srila Gurudev.
They were going on for a long time like that and everybody kept quiet.
Sorry, Gurudev. From tomorrow, we were thinking we will disable unmuting only. Today, we could not do it properly, but tomorrow, we were thinking to improve it that way. Sorry, Gurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Unto Leela chapter 3, text 192. Avadut Nittai, Chokidar Milan, Leela. Lord Nityananda meets the temple guards at Jagannath Puri Dhamaki. Chaitanya Rase Nityananda Mahadhir Parama Udhama Eka Stane Nahistir. The most sober Nityananda relished the mellows of Lord Chaitanya's love. Chaitanya Ras. Nittai was supremely independent, but he's actually supremely mad. He's an avadut. He's 35 years old. He sits on Malini's breast, the wife of Shivas Pandit, on her lap, and he starts sucking on her breast at the age of 35. He's 35, and she's 66. That's extremely mad. And she has so much vatsalya, bhav, motherly love for him, and he's totally in balak bhav, in balya bhav of being a baby, 3-year-old. Although he's 35, that milk starts pouring from her breast. She had no issue, no children at that time. Shivas Pandit's wife, Malini Devi. This is in Chaitanya Bhagavat. He's avadut, as I says, avadut nittai. So he's supremely independent. He could not remain steady in one place. Jagannatha Dekhiya Yayena Dharibade Hari Gone Keha Rakite Napade. One day, Nityananda Avadut entered the temple of Jagannath. He jumped on the altar and tried to grab Lord Jagannath. Actually, it says grab hold of. Dari Bhare. He tried to grab hold of. And if you've ever seen Lord Jagannath, can you easily grab a hold of Lord Jagannath? He's about 6 feet tall and about 6 feet wide, isn't it? He's quite big when you go close. I've only seen in the Rath cart. Big Dharo Brahman. So to grab hold of Jagannath, you have to be like Ananta Shesh. And Nityananda is Ananta Shesh Bhagavan ki. So he tried to do that, and that's not very much appreciated by the temple chokidars, but they could not stop him because he's God. He's Balaram. Now this is one day. Ek din uttiya suvarna singhasane, Balarama Darya Karila Alingane. Another day, Nityananda Avadut jumped on the Singhasan of the deities, and he tried, or rather he did, the golden Singhasan, and he embraced Lord Balaram. So Nityananda is Balaram, Nityananda Balaram. Now, Utite Parihari Dharile Hate, Dharite Parila Gya Hatta Pancha Sate. Nitai climbed up in the Singhasan. The temple guard caught hold of his hand. But he grabbed, hey, where are you going? Stop, Roko! He tried to grab his hand, and what happened to that chokidar? He was thrown back 7 feet. So he tried to grab Nitai's hand when he was climbing on the altar in Jagannath Puri to embrace Balaram, and Nitai went, he went, pooh! Like something out of a Bruce Lee movie or something. Bruce Lee kicks somebody, and he tumbles back 25 feet. Oh, exaggerated, Hollywood style. Nityananda Prabhu Balara Mera Galara Malalai Parilena Galaya Panara. Nitai climbed up in the Singhasan. After embracing Balaram, he snatched the garland from Balaram's neck and put it around his own neck. Nityananda is very, very naughty. So the temple guards are having a difficult time containing Nityananda Avadut. Because how can you keep the river from flowing to the ocean? Mala Parichalilena Gajendra Gamane Parihari Utya Chintaye Mane Mane. After putting on Balaram's garland, Nityananda jumped off the Singhasan and walked away from the Singhasan and walked through the temple with a gait like the king of elephants. He was walking like the king of elephants. The temple guard got up, the one he kicked back 7 feet, fell on his backside. The temple chokidar woke up from that karate punch of Nitai, and then he got up and he thought as follows. So Nitai is really, he's showing off. He climbs up in the Singhasan and says, hey, what is this? Who are you? Hey, Balaram, that's my garland. Hey, Balaram. Give me that garland. Thank you. He walks, and he struts out of the temple like a king of elephants, right? When the elephant walks, his head goes like this, and his, proboscis, or his trunk goes like this. Sways. Like, hey, man. And elephants are so powerful that even a huge bull, if a bull sees an elephant, he passes urine and runs away. A huge bull, hey! He sees an elephant, I've seen in Mayapur. They take the elephants for a walk down to the Yoga Pit. And there's these wild bulls wandering around everywhere in India, as you know. And they actually what we call freak out. They become very disturbed. And they're the elephant is only maybe 4 times bigger than the bull. I mean, the bull is big. Elephant's not that big. It wasn't that big an elephant. He's looking this way. Now we have to get out of here. And he pees and he runs in the field, goes through fences or anything. And the elephant's just do. And the elephant's walking. What's with that guy? So Balaram is walking out of the temple like that. And the chokidar is like chasing behind him, and he's thinking, the chokidar is thinking, Avadut Tera, Manusha Shakti Nahi, Balaram Sparshaki, Anjera Devrahi. This Avadut strength is not that of a human being. How else could one survive after touching Balaram? He's thinking, what kind of strength he has? He touched Balaram. He ripped off his garland. He can't be a human being, because if you steal the Lord's garland, then you get reaction. You get an auto accident, or your hand gets chopped off, or something happens to you. And he knows that. The Jagannath deities in Puri, there's long, long history of what happens. Even our Jagannath temple in Mayapur, there's so many stories. There was one Muslim, they offered him Mahaprasadam. And he refused to take the Mahaprasadam. He threw it on the ground. Mahaprasadam of Jagannath. And then that night in his dream, the Shringadeva appeared in his dream and landed on his chest like that Kazi, starts scratching his heart out and said, you should go back, you better go back there and honor Mother Prasadam and worship that deity and give some donation. I'm going to kill you tomorrow night. And he comes back next day, Jagannath, Mahaprasad, Deity, please. So he said, what happened when he was white as a sheet? He was white as a sheet, as they say. He was really white, and he's usually black, so that's a lot. That's significant. He was a black Bengali. So he went to the Jagannath Mandir Pujari, and he said, I had this terrible dream. Because he doesn't know Lord Nrsimhadev, that, he's a Muslim. So he said, this big lion appeared, and he was straddling my chest, and he was roaring, and he was speaking in Bengali. The lion was speaking in Bengali. You aparadi! You offended my prasad! You don't go back and worship that prasad and serve that temple like a menial servant for the rest of your life. I will kill you and all your family! So similarly in Jagannath Puri, there's so many stories about the deities. Revenge, you could say, revenge or getting back, or in dreams, and so many hundreds and thousands of stories throughout the last so many centuries. So obviously the Chokidar was well aware of all those wonderful stories because they're about his boss. He works for Jagannath Balaram Subhadra. He's their guard in their temple, in their holy dham of Jagannath Puri Ki. So he knows all the wonderful Mahima, Thakurji, deity, the Archamurti Mahima. So he's saying, who is this? How is he surviving? Before he even leaves the temple, he should fall down and crack his arm or something. He's just strutting out, like a royal elephant, without being disturbed, no effect. Nothing's happening to him. He's impervious to the wrath of God. There's no thunderbolt falling in his head. No mishap or malady coming to him. Who is this supernatural person? These are all the thoughts of the Chokidar as he's observing this. First, he saw the supernatural strength when he went to grab his hand. Chokidar means he has some power, but he's not some puny little guy. He's a Chokidar. He's a Kshatriya. He's some big guy. So Nityananda took his hand. He falls back 7 feet. Then he's thinking like this: Mata hasti dari muni paran raki bare muni gharile oki manusha jaite pare. I can control a mad elephant, said the Chokidar. So how could a human being escape my grip? So this also shows, I didn't read this ahead of time recently. So I'm mentioning it, to be a Chokidar means you're powerful. So he's thinking, what is this? I have the power, I'm like a Maharati, I have the power to control a Mata Hati, a mad elephant. I'm such a powerful man, this Chokidar is, and he's not a wimp. He's not a 98-pound weakling. When he's strong, he's saying, hey, what is this? I'm the same Arjun, this is the same Gandiva. There's the whole thing from the Mahabharata, when the coward men came and kidnapped the Mahishis. When the coward men, he was, what is this? My Gandiva is powerless, my Mahabahu, my powerful arms are powerless, and some Gwals have defeated me, Devadhara. So he's thinking, what is this? I can control big elephants? And who is this supernatural person? How is he surviving? How could he's a human being, he appears like a Nara Roop, like a human being. How could he escape my grip? My grip is like steel. And when I grab his hand, if I grab anybody else's hand, I can crush his hand and break him in pieces. And I grab this person's hand, whoever this mystery man is, I grabbed his hand when he jumped on the Singhasan of Jagannath and Balaram, and I went to grab him, and don't touch me! Who do you think you are? And he fell back 7 feet. So the Chokidar is amazed, Vismay, Chamatkar, astounded. Drama here, suspense. Hena muni hasta dridha karya dharilun trina praya hai gia kota va padilun. Although I caught tightly hold of this person's hand, I was thrown back like a blade of grass. Trina adapi sunichena turariva suhishtana Amanina manidena kirtaniya sada hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I was thrown back like a blade of grass. Mata chinte parihari mahashaya, Nityananda dekile, karina vinay. Vinay. The respectable temple guard thought in this way. When he saw Nityananda later, he felt humbled. Nityananda Sarupa Swabhava Bhalyabhav Alingana Karina Parama Anurag. As I mentioned, Bhalyabhav, Bal Gopal, Bal Krishna. Bhalyabhav means the mood, the sentiment, the identity, the feeling, the attitude, the outlook, the desire to relish and experience and taste, the mood of a baby. 1-year-old baby, 2-3-year-old baby, 2-3-year-old baby, Balya, Bal Gopal. It's called Balya Leela, Poganda Leela, Kaishar Leela. So Krishna's Balya Leela is in Gokul, right? From birth in Gokul until he was 3.5 years old, and then he moved to Vrindavan for Poganda Leela. Then he moved to Nandagram for Kaishar Leela. So here, he's in this bhav. Yet Nityananda Sarup, whose natural characteristic was like that of a child, he embraced that guard with affection. Beautiful. This is the end of this short story of Nityananda meets the temple chowkidar. It ends on a sweet note, no doubt. There was a lot of bewilderment and amazement, suspense, a small fight scene. There's a fight scene, an attempted armed robbery. There's robbery, a fight scene. Then there's a chase scene. I mean, it's a really action-packed movie, and all in 5 verses. There's an attempted robbery and kidnapping. Nityananda attempted to kidnap Balaram by he wanted to kidnap Jagannath by embracing him. And then, Radhe. And then he wanted to steal the garland. He stole the garland from Balaram, and he ran away, and he fought the chowkidar. Knocked him back 7 feet. Then his bewilderment, suspense. Who is he? Who is this mystery man? Is it Avadut or God? Is he a human being? Is he Manush? He can't be Manush, or he would have broken to pieces by touching the deity. Anyone else who's ever made such an offense? They have died on the spot or immediately after, within 3 days. Because when one makes an offense, he suffers within 3 days, 3 weeks, or 3 years maximum when he makes a mata, mad elephant offense. What to speak of offending directly Sakshat Daru Brahman Jagannath Sri Krishna? All these thoughts and all this amazing. And so when afterwards, and he realized that I don't know who he is, but he's really powerful and he's really bold, and he must have a tight relationship with Jagannath and Balaram, because nothing happened to him at all. So he became extremely humble and appreciative and respectful towards Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda, to soothe his aching heart and pacify his bewildered mind in the true spirit of a compassionate and loving Vaishnava, because everyone has aching hearts and disturbed minds. So compassionate Vaishnavas try to act in such a way and speak in such a way to relieve people of their aching hearts and troubled minds by sharing their inner bliss or giving their love or giving their guidance. Isn't it? So Nityananda, he did the same, because there's no greater expression of love than an affectionate, selfless, caring embrace. Alingana. It says alingana. Prema lingana. Nityananda, whose natural characteristic, swabhav, balya bhav swabhav. Our basic natural characteristic is Ravana bhav swabhav. Ravana bhav, Hiranyakashipu bhav, Asura bhav, Ben Laden bhav, Ben Laden bhav sarup, or swabhav. Asura swabhav. Our basic swabhav is asur. Greedy, lusty, envious, proud, harsh, nasty, mean. That's the usual decadent residents of Kali Yuga. And we are one of them. But Nityananda is Balyavad. Kids are always giggling. Kids are always laughing. Is it? Do you ever remember? Were you a baby one time? Who, me? I'm Dr. So-and-so. Don't you know? Really? You were sucking your thumb 2 years ago. You were playing in the sandbox 5 years ago. You had poop in your pants 10 years ago. But now I'm Dr. So-and-so. Excuse me, Mr. Smith. I am Dr. Smith. Oh, excuse me. I didn't realize you're different than a Mr. Smith. You're a Dr. Smith, right? Have you met anyone like that? Yes. Are you like that? Yeah, could be, Trinada, peace, Amanina, I don't want any respect, adoration, distinction. Tuchavat koine. Tuchavat, insignificant. My only significance, if I can become a stitaduli sadrisham vichintya. Ainanda tanajakinkaram patitam mam mishave bhavamburo. Kripaya tava parapankaja stitaduli sadrisham vichintya. So this is a very wonderful Parama Anurag, Alingana Karina Parama Anurag. He didn't just embrace the Chokidar. Of every aspect, of every motion or behavior that these characters or players or devotees are displaying on the stage of Gaur Leela is extremely educational and enlightening and informative. He did not just say, Vrindavan Thakur didn't just say that Nitai embraced the Chokidar. Alingane Parama Anurag, Ragi. He said, someone said, oh, nice to see how you know, hi, there's embracing and there's embracing, like you see in the movies, a traditional movie, the hero has been gone somewhere and he greets his wife and they're running. You ever see this scene? It's a famous scene. The hero is running to the heroine, they're running, they run like across the stage, then he embraces her and picks her off the ground, sweeps and spins like that and sweeps off her feet and her legs go out like that and he goes down, you never seen, tight embrace and turns like that and she goes, woo! And then it's like, so it's an intense embrace because they've been separated for so many months or years or whatever. In the movie scene, they come back, they reunite after so long. He sweeps her off her feet. Have you ever seen? So it's touching and it's wonderful and it's emotional and it's full of so-called love, material love. So that's anurag, intense attachment one to the other in their love. Now this is parama anurag. It means transcendental. It means the supreme. This is a common chokidar. Well, not so common. He's the Lord's guard, so he's special. And everybody's special. If someone is a devotee or has devotional bhav, the devotee's bhav, then to him everyone is special, and even more special than he himself. He sees goodness, he sees something good in everyone. In fact, that's the normal balanced, intelligent, experienced and cultured human being sees something good in everyone. But the devotee, because he has this trina bhav, rather you say dainya bhav, he has this inborn mood of humility. How is it inborn? It's inborn once he takes diksha. Diksha means dvija, second birth. Because part of the second birth means bhakti enters your heart. Bhakti Devi enters your heart. And when Bhakti Devi enters your heart, Bhakti Devi, the shadow of Bhakti Devi is humility, dainya. More bhakti, more humility. More bhakti, more prem. So when one is extremely elevated in prem, he's extremely humble, naturally. It's his svabhav. Dainya bhav svabhav. And dainya bhav svabhav is the bhav of a devotee. This is the Lakshan, the characteristics of a devotee. Lord Chaitanya is describing in Shikshastakam. These are step by step. There are 8 descriptions of the svabhav of the devotee, which develops from the beginning. It's kind of materialistic svabhav because he's dirty, he's filthy. It's asura. The devotee begins in step 1, krama 1, step 1, asura bhav. Asura bhav svabhav, which means mal, means chitta mal. The consciousness is dirty, so what do you have to do? Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhava Mahadavagni. Put out the fire of material existence, eliminate and purify and destroy and remove all the demoniac qualities, the Kam, Krodh, Loh, Moha, Matsarya. That's Cheto Darpanam. So when the chit becomes purified, then gradually the Svabhav of the Jiva, the Jaiva Dharma, the Svabhav of the Jiva or the Jaiva Dharma can begin to manifest. And the Jaiva Dharma, every Jiva is Prema. Every Jiva is the lover of God, part and parcel of God, intimate loving connection with God. So that Prem Svabhav, that is becomes inborn. It's inborn when Bhakti enters our heart. So then Bhakti, her shadow is humility. So as soon as Bhakti Devi enters the heart and really enters the heart, there may be Diksha but no surrender. If one has Diksha, no Sharanagati, then Bhakti is dormant in the heart. So when one surrenders, then Bhakti grows and then humility manifests, as long as Bhakti has been placed there by the Guru at Diksha. Proper Guru. Brahmanda Brahmate Kaun Bhagavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasadi Bhakti Vatavij. You can't have Bhakti without humility, and you can't have humility without Bhakti. They go hand in hand, because humility nourishes Bhakti, Bhakti nourishes humility, and Sharanagati is the field of everything. Everything happens in the field of Sharanagati. No Sharanagati, no surrender, no development of Bhakti, and no exhibition of humility. Humility is what you wear, Bhakti is what you feel. You wear humility, you feel Bhakti. You feel love and you show it by humility. Yes? Yes, no? This is not so much, this is theoretical and it's also practical. And as time goes on, you start to, it's experiential, it's Gyan and Vigyan. So here's the example on the topmost level, Bhagavan Bhakti Svabhav. Jiva Surpaya Krishna Nityadas. Every Jiva is a das, and the Chokidar is serving Jagannath. Maybe he's working for no pay. We don't know if he's on pay or not. Just said he's a Chokidar. So maybe he's doing it free service, and he's a devotee. He's das, is free seva, no cost, no charge. Jiva Surpaya, he's a devotee, he's a das. And Nityananda is Bhagavan. Bhagavan Bhakta Prem Sambhav. No introduction. Doesn't know he's a Chokidar. And he knows, well, maybe I hurt the Chokidar when I threw him back and he tumbled back 7 feet. And maybe he's bewildered. His body may be hurt. His mind may be hurt. His heart is bewildered. His mind is disturbed. Who is he? What has happened? He doesn't look that big, but he has the strength of 10,000 elephants. I can control mad elephants. He threw me away like a fly. He threw me away like a blade of grass. So his mind is disturbed. The Chokidar's mind is disturbed. His body is ruffled up. His heart is disturbed. Who is that masked man? So he's bewildered. So Lord Chaitanya says, it's all right. And he gives him a tight embrace full of anurag. Anurag, intense love, it fills his heart with intense love, prema. Because the medium to Krishna prema is Nittai. Nittai is the distributor of Krishna prema. Gauranga made him that. He is a namhat. Namhat means a premhat. There's no prem without nam. And no nam without prem. Real nam, I mean Shuddha nam. Shuddha nam is prem nam, but attain it by chanting nam. So he's giving, he's distributing. So it's a beautiful ending. Just wish we were the Chokidar. Get knocked back on our butt and then wake up and get love of Godhead. Beautiful. From bewilderment to love. From a sore butt to love of God. He got embraced by Nityananda. Ananga Manjari. Right? I mean, this perfect. So that story concludes. Now the next story begins. And this is a beautiful story from Antya Lila, chapter 3, Chaitanya Bhagavat. It begins on verse 203. This is Mahaprabhu's Rasa dance. Mahaprabhu's Rasa dance on the Puri beach. Sounds romantic. Sounds attractive. Let's go to Jagannath Puri ki jai. Mahaprabhu's Rasa Leela ki jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai. Text 203. Tabe kata dine gora chandra lakshmi pati samudra kulete asi karila vasati. Some days after that, Gora Chandra, the husband of Lakshmi, took up residence on the shore of the ocean, Samudra Kule. Samudra Kule te asi karale vas. Samudra vas. Samudra Kula. Sindhu tire stana ati ramya manohar. Dekhiya santosha bhara Shri Gora Sundar. Ati ramya manohar bhara Shri Gora Sundar. Ati ramya manohar bhara Shri Gora Sundar. Shri Gora Sundar was greatly pleased to see that most enchanting spot on the shore of the ocean. Shri Gora Sundar. Shri Gora Sundar. Shri Gora Sundar. Gauranga has come in a full moon night. When can it be? After this. Came in January, February, March. Went to Sarvana's house. Sometime this is Falgun, or it could be even this month, Chaitra. This happened because he took sannyas in Sankranti, January 14th in 1510, at the age of 24 in the year 1510. And then he's wandering around Radhadesh, and then he came. That was till February, March. So it's roughly Chaitra Maina. This is Chaitra, right? And it's a Shukla, Chaitra Shukla Panchami, Aj, hey. And this is, of course, the full moon night of Chaitra in Jagannath Puri. We're there. We must be there, otherwise we're nowhere. We're either there or nowhere. Are you there, man? Are you there? I'm there. I'll meet you there. You hear that? Sometimes people say, I'll meet you there. I'm going back to Godhead. Going back to home. Going back to God. There's this one song, 1976, and probably heard it. It's called Change of Heart. I had this song, going back to Godhead, going back to home. And they would say home, and then in the back on different tracks it would say Om, 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 Om. It would say Om. Going back to Godhead. It was rock, soft rock. Going back to home. And then back other track. Om, 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 Om. It sounds really cool. He was saying home, like house, home. And the background was Om, 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 Om. With echo, Om, Om, Om. It was really cool. Going back to Godhead. Going back to home. Anyway, it's like music. Prabhupada heard it. He liked it. They asked him many songs. And the spiritual sky, I've entered the spiritual world. The water's like nectar. Whatever. It was really good. Prabhupada heard it and he said, this is good. And they distributed it. And that would be to, they give it to, and in the back, anyway, it's a long, tell you that, leave us some other time. Books and it was record albums in those days. Ancient history, record albums? Ye kya hai? Big plastic discs about this big. Like granddaddy of all CD discs, a big black disc, 12 inches across, right? Inconceivable. Yeah, this little tiny thing. Ooh. People are going to become like computer clones. So here's Shri and here's Gora. Sundar on the bank, seeing this full moon in the Chaitra season, thinking, this is the full moon, and this is Vrindavan, this ocean is the Jamuna, this Sindor is the Jamuna, and this is Jamuna Pulina. And this is Chaitra, and Chaitra I was dancing in Vasant Ras with the gopis. And now I'm in Puri, so he's found a very beautiful, it says Ramyastan. Vrindavana Ramyastan. Vrindavana Ramyastan. Ramya means delightful. Ramya, pleasant, delightful, love producing. A place that produces love. A place that produces delight. Ramyat Kachidupasana Ramya Kachidupasana Brajavadu Vir. Says the Brajavadu, the newly married brides, are doing Ramya Upasana. Ramya Upasana of Brajendra Taniyos. The Krishna, Aradhya Bhagavan Brajesha Taniyos, Brajendra Nandan, the son of Nanda Maharaj Krishna, Nanda Nandan, The gopis are doing upasana. Vishnu upasana? No. Krishna upasana? They're not in Vaidhi sadhana. They're not Vishnu bhaktas doing Vishnu upasana. They're not in Vaidhi bhakti doing Krishna upasana, Archan and Sringar. They're doing Ramya upasana. Upasana. Upasana means to sit near. When you sit near somebody, then you do something. At least you should. You Guru upasana. Then you sit near the Guru and you hear the Shastra. So this is Ramya. Ramya upasana means loving. They're worshipping Krishna with their bodies, therefore it becomes Madhurya Leela. There's a difference. No other rasa, they've offered their complete bodies for the satisfaction of Krishna. So this is the greatest delight. When one receives the full body of his wife or her husband, then that's the fullest delight, that's the fullest Ramya satisfaction, delight, and joy. So that's Ramya upasana. And this is our upasana. This verse is by Srinath Chakravarti Thakur, a disciple of, I believe, Advaitacharya. Already in Chaitanya Manjusha, which is a book that he wrote. It's not written by Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, that book. And it says, already Bhagavan Brajeshatanya is Sri Dham Vrindavanam. It says, our goal is Sri Dham Vrindavan. Our worship of the Lord is not Dwarkadish, and it's not Vishnu, it's not Mathuranath. It's the Lord of Vrindavan, Vrindavan Chandra. And how do we worship? What is our method of worship? Archanam and Pujam and all these things. No, Ramya Upasana, Gopi Upasana, following the footsteps of the gopis. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam. And then what is the proof? Where do you get? You just drum this up, you gaudias are made up some stupid thing. What's the praman? What's the foundation? Shriman Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam. Puranam Amalam. Shriman Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam. Premam Pumartamahan. And the basis of this is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? The Amala Purana, the spotless Purana. And this is the basis, and this is and what is the Bhagavatam established? Prema Pumartamahan. The art, the object, the art, Dharma, Kam, Moksha, art, the desirable object or goal or the attainment of the Pumsa, the human being, the Purusha, is prema, and this is established. What kind of prema? Braja prema, that's the supreme. And how to attain Braja prema? Follow in the footsteps of the gopis and do Ramya Upasana. So now we're hearing that Gauranga Mahaprabhu has gone to the beach and he's saying, Sindhu Tire, Jamuna Tire, Jamuna Tire. So this is Sindhu Tire. On the banks of the ocean in Jagannath Puri on the full moon night of the Chaitra month, which is now April. April, May is Chaitra. March and April is Falgun. So now it's Chaitra. On that night, that very night, he saw this Sindhu Tire Stan Ati Ramya Manohar. And the translation is, he was very pleased to see that most enchanting spot on the shore of the ocean. In other words, when Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his Krishna and Radha Mahabhav, saw that stan, that beautiful place, the Jamuna Pulina, the Sindhu Pulina, on the banks of the Bay of Bengal in Jagannath Puri, the ocean, then he became extremely pleased, Ramya. He became reminded of Vrindavan and the gopis. He means she, and she became reminded she remembered the Ramya Upasana of the gopis worshipping Krishna in the rasa dance. And when Gaurasundar remembered that Ramya Upasana of the gopis in the rasa dance, that intimate, wonderful conjugal worship that the gopis do of Krishna during the rasa dance, then what happened to his mind? It says, Manohar. It says, Ati Ramya Manohar. Ati, extremely, exceedingly delightful, loving moods entered his mind, and these exceedingly delightful and pleasing conjugal moods and conjugal vilasa, the gopis' worship of Krishna in the rasa dance in the banks of the Yamuna in Vrindavan during the Chaitra full moon, they flooded it like waves of the ocean. They flooded the mind of Mahaprabhu, and that consequently stole his mind. Manohar stole his mind and transported him immediately to Vrindavan. And he entered Vrindavan Bhav, and so then he got in the mood of Vrindavan and enacted a rasa dance on the banks of the ocean in Puri. Very wonderful verse. Ati Ramya Manohar, which is translated, he was greatly pleased to see that most enchanting spot. That's the translation. There's no purport. I gave you some small idea. Chandaravati Ratri Vahe Dakshina Pavan Vaisena Samudra Kule Shri Shachinandan. So these are some of because this is Ras Lila. So to relish this Madhurya Ras and the Ras Lila, there are 5 components of Ras. The first one, of course, is Vibhav, which has a Lamban, the Premashraya and the Premvishaya, then the Udipan, which are the excitants and stimulants in the environment, sights and sounds and objects and places, full moons and beaches and winds and breezes and fragrances and bees and buzzing bees and parrots singing and cuckoos cooing and flutes playing and so many things which incite and excite and stimulate the heart as a catalyst to awaken the ever-present Sahivav within the heart of the beloved, the Premashraya towards the beloved, Premvishaya. So the author is describing the elements of the drama, part by part. So now we've heard about the place of the Leela, these are the props, like you have a stage, and a stage you try to create a scene on a stage. It's a simply wooden stage or platform, pandal, with some curtains, and you bring out some cardboard pieces that look like palm trees, and you make some waves, and they pull the curtain, this must be some tropical island. They try to create the scene. As the moon shone on the ocean, and the wind blew from the south, the southern breezes which bring in the warmth, just like in Vrindavan, Sri Shachinandan sat down on the shore of the ocean. Krishna Chandra ki, Gaura Chandra ki. So these are the udipans. These are the stimulants to Ras. So that's a full moon, the wind's blowing. Okay, good night. But if you're a romantic person, and you like to romance, there's certain elements that come together and incite or inspire you for romance. It's Amavasya. There's a freezing cold wind blowing from the Himalayas. I feel I'm in a real romantic mood. You become romantic. There's an icy freezing wind blowing off the Himalayas. It's January 10th. It's 15 degrees centigrade. It's 8 degrees centigrade. And it's Amavasya. There's no stars in the sky, no moon. Do you say, wow, I feel excited. I feel romantic. Don't you? No, I'm freezing cold. Let's get out of here. There's a warm southern breeze. You're on the beach. The waves are full moon is dancing on the waves, and the soft, cooling rays are falling across your face and looking so beautiful. And this beautiful, warm but cool breeze is blowing from the south. It's like very soothing. It's not warm, it's not cool. If you've ever been on the beach, I grew up on the beach, in the country near the beach. And it's, when we go to Puri, how some of those days you walk on the beach and that wind is coming off it's warm but cool. You just have a t-shirt, you don't feel cool, don't feel hot or cold. It's like natural air conditioning. Remember those days? It's so beautiful. I remember because for 10 summers, I lived 10 summers in a row. I was 1.5 months in Mayapur, then 1.5 months in Puri. 10 summers from 1992 until 2001 or so. 10 summers, 10 Rath Yatras. I was going 8 months in Vrindavan and 2 months there. Then 2002 was Vrindavan Vas. It was Vrindavan. It was 8 months Vrindavan, 2 months Mayapur, 2 months Puri. I did that for 10 years. This Chaitanya Bhagavat, Antya-lila, chapter 5, Antya-kanda, and we were hearing how all the great devotees came to Jagannath Puri, Nilachala, to join with Lord Chaitanya in his pastimes there, his Nilachala Lila. And we heard all the qualities, how the different devotees are Bhakti Rasamai and Parama Vival Krishna Ras. They're all absorbed in different degrees of love. Pradyumna Mishra, Paramananda Puri, Kashi Mishra. And then we're hearing about now Chaitanya Bhanav Thakur wants to describe the glories of Nityananda, who also came to Puri to be with the Lord. So he's describing his characteristics. Sadai Japena Nam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Swapne Onahika Nityananda Mukhayonya. We left off of that verse, and even in his dreams, he would speak nothing else but Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And we made the point that previously, of course now they're both there, Haridas Thakur is there in Puri, and so is Nityananda, and previously they were preaching together, or rather they would also preach together afterwards, because there's some pastime later about that. But they were associating, and when they were preaching together, then they were, Haridas and Nityananda were going house to house. So we can imagine they were both chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Because when Haridas Thakur left his body, he was chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya, looking at Lord Chaitanya and the Siddha Bokul, looking at the Lord's face and then chanting. So apparently this was their favorite mantra, although of course he chanted 3 lakhs of Mahamantra also, Haridas. The private meeting of Nitai and Gora. Lord Chaitanya took Nitai to a private place in Nilachal, and they had some rahasya vad, some very secret talks. And what did they talk about? Prabhu Bali Shuna Nityananda Mahamati Satvare Cha Lala Tumi Navadvipa Prati. Listen, oh Mahamati, magnanimous Nityananda, go quickly to Navadvip. Pratigya Kariya Achi Ami Nijamuke Murka Nicha Daridra Pasava Prema Suke. 224. I have personally promised to inundate the fools, the fallen, and the poor in the happiness of ecstatic love. Now this is his pratigya. Gauranga's pratigya, his promise is that the foolish, the morkas, the nichas, the nicha jatis, the low-born, the daridra, the poor, he wants to, basava means to immerse them, inundate them, basya, and happiness of prema. Tumiyo takila jari muni dharma kari apana uttama bhava sava parihari tave morka nicha jata patita samsar bhaladeki arake vakaribe udhar. Nitai, if you simply remain silent like a muni doing Maun Brata, and you renounce your magnanimous nature, then tell me, who will deliver the fools and wretched souls who have fallen into material life? Because now that Nitai was in Puri, in Jagannath Puri in Nilachaladam, he was simply absorbed in Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nam Kirtan and behaving in an intoxicated way, not much functioning in the external world. He was always intoxicated. Parananda rasa unamata. Parananda rasa unamata. He was unmad, totally mad, and relishing the topmost ecstatic bliss of Sevananda in relation to Gauranga and Ramchandra and Krishna. So he was kind of oblivious to the world and dysfunctional as far as the external world. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu was trying to snap him out of that and said, listen, you're absorbed in your own Atmabhav and your own internal ecstasies, but I'm here and I'm about to enter my Gambhira Leela with Lalita Meshaka, Ramananda Roy, and Dhira Damodara. And if you stay here and I stay here, then what about the Patita Pavan Avatar Gauranga Nitai? Mahaprabhu and Nityananda, they're supposed to be so patita. And so many songs are there. Nitai Gunamani Amar, Nitai Gunamani. And if you just stay here absorbed in Nam Sankirtan, the bliss of Rasa Mellows, so he's saying, listen, you're magnanimous, and I'm here and you're here, who's going to deliver all these fools? Bhakti Rasa Dhatta Tumi Samvarile Tabe Avatara Wa Ki Nimitte Karile. Nitai, you are the distributor of the mellows of devotional service, Bhakti Rasa Datta. If you hide them, Samvarile, then what is the use of your incarnation in this world? Ete ke amara vakya jadi satya chao. Tabi avilambe tumi goda deshe jao. Now, Nitai, if you wish to fulfill my promise, then you should go immediately to Goda Desh without delay. So he's ordering him to go preach. Stop your bhajan. Start doing pravachan, prachar. Morka nicha patita dukita jata jan bhakti dhira karagiya sabare mochan. Nitai, go to Bengal, go to Navadvip, go to Bengal. Deliver the foolish, wretched, fallen and distressed persons by giving them bhakti. Bhakti dhira. So this is the good news Gauranga gave to Nitai. And I wonder, how did he receive the order? Did he say, "Oh Gurudev, I want to stay in Vrindavan and do bhajan. I don't want to go out, distribute books in Delhi during a Christmas marathon"? Did he accept? He's an avadut. He's free. He's swatantra. Did he accept the request and order of the Lord, or did he reject it, or did he plead for some revision? Agyapai Nityananda Chandra Tatakshane Chalilena Ghoradeshe Lai Nijagane. Having received Gauranga's order, Nitai Chand immediately left for Gaudadesh, Bengal, with his associates. No hesitation. And who did he take with him? Ramadasa Gadadhara Dasa Mahashai Raghunatha Vaidya Oja Bhakti Rasamai Krishna Dasa Pandita Parameshwari Das Purandara Panditera Parama Ulas Nityananda Sarupera Jata Aptagan Nityananda Sange Sabe Karila Gaman. Nityananda Sarup was accompanied by his intimate associates, who are Gadadhar Das, Ramdas, Raghunath Vaidya, who is filled with the mellows of devotional service, Krishnadas Pandit, Parameshwari Das, and the most jubilant Purandara Pandit. So he had quite a power-packed entourage, no doubt about that. He had an Ayurvedic doctor with him, Raghunath Vaidya, and the rest of them were all Brahmins and Pandits. So he's going to tackle the job of preaching with quite an impressive army of associates. Pate Chalite Nityananda Mahashai Sarva Parishara Age Kaila Prema Mai. As they began their journey, Nityananda first bestowed ecstatic love on all of his associates. Well, I guess they say charity begins at home. So the Lord has met only with Nityananda and said, listen, he said he didn't tell Nityananda, Ramdas and all these, Raghunath Vaidya, Gadadhar Das, he only met alone, Nibrita Nikunja Sangha, Nibrita Sangha, in a very lonely place. Only Nitai he met with him. And he conveyed his manobishtam, Sri Chaitanya manobishtam, sapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa gadamaya dadati swapadantikam. He revealed his inner cherished heart's desire that this external purpose of my advent must be fulfilled by someone, although I did it to some extent. Through the length and breadth of India, I spread the teachings of Bhakti Siddhanta and Prema Tattva, Brajaras. But now there's more work to do still. So we delegated Nityananda to take that responsibility. And he said that you should give love. Bhakti Dhira, immerse everyone in the mellows of love of God. So now he's collected these group of associates and friends to return to Navadvip to execute the mission of the Lord. And before they started, the Nityananda, all his parishads, he immersed them in Prema Maya. So they were prepared for the job. Their job was to distribute love of God, Prema. So first they had to get it themselves. Of course they already had it, Nitya parishads. But Nityananda, he gave it to them. He started his Udar mission by, okay, we're traveling together, okay, all of you have Prema, now let's go. Now we have a unified team of Premi Bhaktas to distribute the Prem. Sabara Haila Atma Vismriti Atyanta Karadehe Katabhav Nahitara Anta. As a result, they completely forgot themselves. There was no end to the ecstatic symptoms that manifest in their bodies. Bhava Nahi Tara Anta. Bhava Nahi Anta. Atma Vismriti Atyanta. They completely forgot themselves. So Nityananda was an avadut, and now he's immersed. He was an avadut because he's a Prem avadut, a Krishna Premi avadut. So now he's immersed all of his associates in Krishna Prema, and as he has forgotten the world and become completely lost in the inner ecstasies of relishing ras in relation to the Lord, now he's given the same experience to all his associates. So now they forgot themselves. And then they forgot themselves that I'm so-and-so Pandit, and I'm so-and-so Grihastha, this, that, the other thing. And Pratame Vaishnav Agra Ganya Ramdas Tana Dehi Hai Lena Gopala Prakash. So now the author of Vrindavan Das Thakur, first he makes the statement that Nityananda intoxicated everyone with his prema, and in that intoxicated condition they forgot their normal identities and lost connection with their external upadhis and designations. And now one by one he's going to explain how each one of them became unhinged and started absorbing themselves in their antarbhav, and their inner bhav. Because of course these are Nitya parishads of Lord Gauranga Nitai, but these are the same parishads or Nitya parishads of Radha and Krishna and Balaram. So they're dual personalities. So they're one by one as devotees are manifesting their internal identities. So Vaishnav Ramdas, he manifested Gopal Prakash because he's one of the Dwadasa Gopals of Balaram, who's appeared in Gaur Leela. Now he's a Pandit Brahmin and he's assisting the Lord in his preaching. Madhyapate Ramadasa Tripanga Haya Achila Praharatina Bhaya Pasariya. Somewhere along the way as they were walking, this very great Pandit Brahmin Ramdas totally forgot the external world. And for 9 hours he stood in Tribanga Rupam. For 9 hours he stood in a threefold bending form. Why 9 hours? Why not 6, 4, 3, 2, 1? Because Krishna leaves Nandagana in the morning around 9 and comes back about 6 in the evening. So the cow-herding pastimes in Sakiras last for about 9 hours every day, roughly. And you see in Govinda Lilamrita when Mother Yashoda, she's pining with Krishna, she's saying, why do you have to go out and take care of the cows? I can't bear the 9 hours separation. Exactly, it's so I can't bear that 9 hours separation while you're in the pasturing grounds. Why don't you just go home and come back after 1 hour? So why was it 9 hours? Why did Ramdas stand in threefold? First he entered Gopal Bhav as a Gopa Bhav. And when you enter Bhav, then you enter Leela. Bhavavesh Leela Vesh. Bhavavesh Leela Pravesh. Because when one is in Bhav, then he can enter the Leela. So he'll enter the Leela, he's in Aprakat Bhav, so he'll enter Aprakat Leela. His body externally is a Vaishnava Brahmin, Bengali Brahmin. But his Antarbhav, his Nitya Bhav is I am a coward boy, Gopa, Rajagop, Gwao. So now I'm in that Bhav, so that Bhav is taking me into the Leela Pravesh. So now I'm fully identifying with that Leela. Gopa Abhiman. So now he's standing threefold bending form. Because coward boys stand like that, Krishna stands like that, they stand like that. He's remembering Krishna, he's remembering Balaram. So he's lost. Now he's lost. Now one by one the different associates, I think it's 7 associates traveling with the Lord. Ramdas, Gadadhar Das, Raghunath, Krishnadas, Parameshwar, and Purandara. 6. The 6 associates, the preaching team, the entourage of Nitai, returning to Bengal in the order of Gauranga. One by one they're exhibiting their Antarbhav and Leela Pravesh. And Vrindavan Thakur is so beautifully explaining the dual identities of these great souls. And as above, so below. We also have dual identities. The devotee and the demon. Outside we try to be a devotee, but inside we're a demon. Sura Asura Sambandha. No, Sura Milan. Sura Milan, the meeting of the demon and the devotee. we meet all the time. We meet regularly. Sometimes I meet Mr. Diablo, who's my alter ego. And sometimes I meet Mr. Saint, who's my aspired for self. So in this way, we all have dual identities. And that's this sadhaka plane of conditioned life, Bhada Jiva. When we become Nitya Siddha, and then we will have dual identities also, as Kishore Brahmins and Gaur Leela, Gaur Balaks, and then Krishna Leela as Kishori Manjari Gopis. So we'll also have dual identities, and we'll associate with Gauranga and Gaurangi in the appropriate place. And now it's Gadadhar Das's turn to fall apart and give up his external identity as a great Pandit. Gadadhar Das is considered the Jyoti of Radharani. Gadadhar Pandit is the very Rupam and Sarupam of Radharani's heart. And the Jyoti, I believe, is Gadadhar Das, represents her Kanti, the Kanti of Radha. The Kanti and Bhav, which Gauranga absorbed, or adopted, Krishna adopted and became Gauranga. Radha Kanti and Radha Bhav. So the Radha Bhav is Mahabhav, and the Radha Kanti is that Gauranga color, that effulgence. So Gadadhar Das is the personification of Radharani's Kanti. And Gadadhar Pandit is the personification of Radharani's Mahabhav, and obviously her Kanti also. So Gadadhar became, it says, Haila Radhika Bhav Gadadhar Das, Dadi Ki Kinnibe, Bale Atta Hase. He became absorbed in the mood of Radhika Bhav. He started laughing loudly, Atta Hase. Who will buy yogurt? Who will buy yogurt? Dadi ke kinibe. Dadi ke. So he's lost. Absorbed in the mood of a gopi. He was laughing loudly and saying this. Raghunatha Vaidya Upad Jayat Mahamati Hailena Murtamati Ye Jehena Revati. The most magnanimous Raghunath Vaidya Upadhyaya became fully absorbed in the mood of Revati. So that's why he was named Raghunath. Revati. Revati means Balaram's wife, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
So he was, I guess Balaram's wife became this coward boy. You can draw that idea. Revati became Raghunath Vaidya. Although, because some are coward boys and some are apparently even in a different bhav. Krishna Dasa Parameshwari Dasa Duijan Gopal Bhave Hai Kare Anakshan. Krishna Das and Parameshwari Das would always raise a loud uproar in the mood of coward boys. Boys are always making so much noise. The Gopal Bhav mentioned here refers to the mood found in the Dwadasat Gopals, the 12 coward boys of Braj. So it's not, in other words, we're talking about Gopal Bhav. It doesn't mean the Bhav of Krishna. It's not a Hangra Upasana. Hangra Upasana. Worshipping oneself as God. They're servants of the Lord, servants of Krishna and Balaram, and they're the Dwasa Gopals. So they're in the Bhav. Gopal Bhav means Gopa Bhav. They're in the Bhav or mood or sentiments of protectors of the cows. Purandara Pandit Gachite Giya Chare Munire Angara Bhali Lamfa Diya Pare. Purandara Pandit started climbing trees, then he would jump from it, declaring, I am Angada, Hemata Nityananda Shri Anantadham, Sabareti Lena Bhava Paramahudham. This way Nityananda, the origin of Ananta, aroused the devotees' transcendental sentiments. Sabadilena Bhava Paramahudham. Shri Anantadham. Shri Anantadham Bhava Paramahudham. There's some point here we can draw, because this Chaitanya Bhagavat, his Tattva, his Leela, and of course his Leela interwoven with Tattva Siddhanta, relevant teachings according to time and place. Of course there's no tika on this verse that I see, because many verses have no tika, but every single word has volumes and volumes of meaning. And this Veda Vyas, who was given such a valuable and necessary scripture for the benefit of the humankind, he appeared again 500 years ago as Vrindavan Das Thakur to give an equally, or even in some ways more beneficial and helpful scripture for the mankind to attain perfection in spiritual life. So here he's pointing out to us the nature of the compassionate mood of Nityananda. What shape does his compassion take? And what is the effect of his compassion? What can he do for us? And what does he do? He has, as we see here, his association, his wish, his association, and his charitable disposition to help those around him. He's helping those around him. Those that are around him in this particular Leela are 6 different individuals who are Nitya Parishads. But he's going on a preaching mission. And that means he's going to help all those around him. He's going to go door to door, marketplace to marketplace. Wherever there's conditioned souls, he will help them and express his compassion in such a way that those conditioned souls will awaken. They will become enlightened. Uto. They will realize who they are, realize what is their true eternal identity. He will awaken in them by his chanting, by his preaching, by his dristi, darshan, his glance, his dristi kripapat, the very merciful glance he will bestow upon them. He will actually awaken their innate and eternal nature, Svabhav, which is Jivera Swarupaya Krishna Nityadahas. That they and everyone and all of us are eternal servants of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Being a das, we are all das, servants of servant category, prakriti, dependent, supportive, enjoyed. Then we will have, a das will have some mood or some sentiment. As servants have a bhav, and friends have a bhav, and parents have a bhav, and children have a bhav, and lovers have a bhav, and husbands have a bhav, and wives have a bhav. Their sentiments, the position and movements of their heart and mind in relation to one another, depending on their identities. So here it's saying, very nice verse, we find that Sri Anantadham, the Nityananda, who, one of his expansions, Balaram expands in 5 expansions, and one of them is Ananta Shesh, who is Sri Ananta, because his Shakti is also there. Sri Anantadham, he is an abode of He's the origin of Ananta, Sri Ananta Dham. But he's an abode also. Dham means abode or refuge, abode, place, shelter of Sri Ananta, of unlimited opulence and unlimited sweetness. And that is the mercy of Nityananda. The Nityananda, when one attains Nityananda's mercy, then he can attain Radha and Krishna. Nitai Bhine Bhai Radha Krishna Payiti Nai. Narottam Das Thakur sings in one song, Nitai Bhine Bhai Radha Krishna Payiti Nai. Without this sweet compassion of Nityananda, one can never attain Radha and Krishna. So that means that jivas who have eternal relationship with Krishna and Radha, or let's say Krishna, beginning, Jivara Surupaya Krishna Nityadas, if they want to unfold and uncover and realize and perceive their Nitya Bhav, their eternal specific loving sentiments and relationship with Sri Krishna, then they're dependent on the mercy of Nityananda. So here it says that he aroused the devotees' transcendental sentiments. Savari Dilena Bhava Parama Udham. So Udham means to raise up their Parama Bhav, their transcendental sentiments. So we have misplaced love, Prabhupada explains in Nectar of Instruction, Nectar of Devotion. We are loving the wrong person and directing our love towards the wrong goal and objective. The sentiments we have as living entities. So Nityananda's role in the conditioned soul's life is to awaken his true sentiments, his parama bhav, his transcendental sentiments and feelings, by inducing and encouraging the conditioned souls to chant the holy name. He opened the Nam Hat. He opened the marketplace of the holy name to induce people to chant the holy name and thereby create the Sukriti, purity and inclination to serve Krishna. So this is the beginning. Captivate people with sound vibration. The deer becomes captivated by the vibration of the flute and he runs out of the forest and gives up his undercover hideout in the trees and foliage, and hunter catches them. So the transcendental sound vibration of Nam Sankirtan, it brings the soul out of its covers. So Nityananda, this is his effect on everyone we have transcendental sentiments stored in our hearts. Sthayi Rati. Sthayi Rati means that we all have Parama Bhav. We have transcendental eternal feelings in our hearts. And they're there forever until Nityananda's mercy comes in the form of Nam Sankirtan and Vaishnava Sarasanga. These are all the limbs of the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Like Prabhupada was described as being Nityananda Shakti. In the purport in Adi Leela, Prabhupada says the spiritual master, the pracharak, the preacher, those angels of compassion that spread the word of God throughout the world, whom it's an offense to, or it's an offense to ridicule or speak badly about them, they are, they're representatives of Nityananda or Radharani. So Nityananda, that's what happens. People meet devotees, they say, oh, chant Hare Krishna. They very much emphasize chanting Hare Krishna in this age. Harinam, Harinam, Harinam eva kevalam. Kalo Seva Gati Ranyata. Oftentimes we meet people and we say, oh, how are you doing? Oh, I preached. I preached this and that one. Did you get them to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra? No, I didn't tell them. Did you tell them about the Hare Krishna Mantra? No, I didn't tell them. Then what have you done? This is the only thing that has any value. This is the only thing that will help them. It's so powerful just to speak the holy name in someone's ears. If they just hear the holy name from advanced devotee or a faithful devotee, conditioned souls get so much sukriti just by that hearing. You preach for half an hour, it won't create so much sukriti in the heart as if you speak the holy name in their ears in 1 minute. Because, 1,000 names of Ram equals 1 name of Krishna. So all your words of philosophy, how is that? That's Prem Nam, that's Shabda. but it's secondary shabda, not primary. It's not prem-filled shabda, rasa-filled shabda. Its philosophy is tattva, its logic, its reason, knowledge, analogy, etc. Say, sir, will you please roz ye mantra japo or aapko Krishna prem sukh shanti milegi. Every day if you chant this mantra, then you'll attain Krishna prema, and you'll become happy. First you'll get Krishna prema. First comes Krishna prema. And all your crap goes out. And once all your crap goes out, kamam hridrogam achirena apinoti achirena dhira. It's told in Bhagavatam. First comes param labhyate, param bhakti labhyate. First comes the prema bhakti in the heart from hearing the holy name, reading rasa shastras like Bhagavad Leela, Vrindavan Leela. Then all the hridrogam kamam, the heart disease of lust is driven out, beat out. So that first comes the prema. So first, Krishna prema, sukh shanti milegi. First you get Krishna prema, and then you get sukh and shanti, you get happiness and peace. So we don't tell them, oh, you chant Hare Krishna and be happy. No, we don't say. Chant Hare Krishna and become miserable. We have a mantra card we printed. One side says chant Hare Krishna and be happy, and the other side says chant Hare Krishna and be miserable. And then the guy gets the card, oh, it's nice. Oh, you said be happy, but the other side you said be miserable. This is life, man. Day and night, opposites, heads and tails. Sometimes you'll be miserable when you chant. Sometimes you'll be happy. Just chant. So they're all excited here, realizing their internal identity. And tomorrow we'll hear how they're continuing along the path. They're leaving Jagannath Puri on the order of Gauranga and going to Mayapur Dham, but they're all totally absorbed in the ecstasies of love, and we'll find out how they went along the path, and that prema-unmata state, absorbed and affected by the intoxication of prema, love of God. How did they progress along the road on the way to Bengal? Did they stumble off the path? Did they get lost on the way? Did they get confused? Or they didn't know it was day or night? How? Because it's difficult to drive when you're intoxicated. If you drink too much, it's difficult to drive your car. So they've drunken too much mercy from Nityananda, and they become totally unmad and prema. So now they may have some effect, and we'll have to find out what that effect is tomorrow. Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai. Continuing stories of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. He's delegated Nityananda to go to West Bengal, to Bengal and preach. Nityananda is traveling with a sangha of 6 exalted devotees. And just when they began their journey, he invested love of God, Prema Bhakti Dhira, and all of his 6 associates. And they all started to revert to their identities in Vrindavan Leela. And they were absorbed in their antarbhav and their internal identities as Sakhis and Manjaris, or various Shaktis of the Lord. Even Revati was represented there. Revati is the wife of Balaram. And the persona of Raghunath Vaidya, one Brahmin, was traveling with Nityananda. And it explains that they didn't really know where they were going, because they were all 7 of them, 6 associates, 1 madman and 6 mad associates. 1 Unmat, Avadut, Nitai, and his associates. You can imagine 7 drunks traveling together. They may not get anywhere very fast. Dande pata chale sabe kroshadui chari. Yayena dakshina bhame apana pasari. Within a half hour they would cover 8 miles. That's pretty fast movement. The average walking speed is about 3 miles per hour. So they were going 8 miles in a half hour. They did not know whether they were going left or right. They were speeding along like the wind, totally intoxicated in Krishna prema. Kaktakshane pata jignasena lokastan balabhai gangatiri jaibe kimon. After some time they would bump into someone on the road and then they would ask, "Hey brother, hey, how can we reach the Ganga? Have you seen the Ganga?" Lokabali, hi, pat pasarila, dui prahera, pata firiya aila. Listen, you guys are on the wrong path. You've already gone 6 hours in the wrong way. 6 hours in the wrong direction. Oh, wow. Lokavak yehi firirai, yayena jatapat, punapata chariya, yayena seimat. After hearing their words, this magnificent seven would return to the right path and start going in the wrong direction. But before long, they would start going in the wrong direction, just as before. They didn't know whether upside from their downside. They were really bewildered. I guess when you're in love, it doesn't matter where you are. If you go for a ride with your girlfriend in the car and go traveling in the country and let's go down this road and let's go down that road and turn this deserted road and that road. And then she looks at you and said, do you know where you're going? He said, no. She said, you know where we are? He says, no. And anyway, just pull the car over and let's talk about it. So these seven God-love intoxicated individuals didn't really matter. Punapata jignasa karya lokastan, lokabali patarahi, dasha kroshabame. Again, after going again in the wrong direction, they would run into someone, bump into some people, and then those people would say, listen you guys, the proper path is 20 miles to the left. I mean, they really went left of center. Punahasi sabe chalena pata jata nijadeya najanena paturaka kata. All seven devotees then started laughing and went back again towards the proper path. In this way, they were not even aware of their own bodies, what to speak of the road. Jatadeya dharma kuda trishna bhaya dukkha kaharo nahikapai parananda sukha. The magnificent seven, Nitai and his 6 friends, they didn't feel any bodily urges. They never felt hungry. They never felt thirsty. They were not afraid of anything, or at least been unhappy or distressed. They're internally relishing transcendental happiness. That's all that matters. Happiness is the main goal. You may be hungry and happy. You may be thirsty but happy. You ever hear of Ekadasi? Nirjala Ekadasi, you're hungry and thirsty. And it says fearful. You may be fearful that you'll die also. But actually, ordinarily, if you don't eat for 40 hours or drink for 40 hours, an ordinary person may be fearful. Oh, I didn't eat for 40 hours. I didn't drink for 40 hours. Maybe I'll die. But when one is doing Nirjala Ekadasi, he's not eating, he's not drinking, he's not sleeping. He's totally free from hunger and thirst and sleeping, and he's totally free from fear and all distress. He's joyful. He's happy. Why? Because he's associating with the Lord through Nam Kirtan, Nam Bhajan, and Harinam, Harikatha. He's relishing transcendental happiness. Parananda Sukha. It's interesting how when devotees get the mercy of Nityananda, what we hear here, if you step back a little bit and look at this interlude of Leela from one perspective, we can see that there's Nityananda, and he contacted some personalities, human beings, devotees, pious individuals. Of course, they're Nitya Parishads. And the result of Nityananda's contact was twofold. One is that internally they received the gift of love of Godhead, and they transformed them mentally and emotionally. They became peaceful, blissful, joyful, ecstatic in love of God. That's the internal transformation. But then then Nityananda's contact transformed them externally, so they forgot the world, and they didn't know where they were going or what path they were on. They didn't even care about what path. So this reminds us of devotees, especially young devotees, that come to Krishna consciousness in midstream. They may be middle of their college education, which is oftentimes the case. The bhakti sanskaras and spiritual sanskaras awaken at different times in different individuals, and they become powerful and explosive and determining forces which often change the whole course of one's life. The person is enlisted in college to get a degree in philosophy or say medicine, and the second year he quits, goes on another path. He leaves the bhoga pot, he leaves the path of Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsarya, and he enters the path of bhakti marg. Sadavartmana vartate. Sadavartman vartate. He enters the path of the sadhus. So they started off in the right direction. And by associating with Nityananda, they got all screwed up. They changed their direction in life. They're living and they're moving. So what is life? Life means living and moving. Moving towards some aspired goal or some defined goal. So every individual in life is living and he's moving towards some goal. When one contacts Nityananda, that movement may change directions. He may go, "You're 20 miles off the path." What happened? You got a degree in medicine. You're supposed to be a doctor practicing in a hospital, working like an ass from sunrise to sunset, taking care of a bunch of stool bodies, mucus, bile, air, stool, and urine. What? You're way off center here. What happened to you? Why aren't you working? You're on the wrong path. You ever hear that? Christians used to come up to us in the airport. "You're following the wrong path! The path of the devil!" We'd laugh, we'd say, "That's right. It's a good one too. Why don't you join us?" And just smile. They say, "Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna," and then they just fume and steam even more. They're all so passionate and tamasic and misguided and foolish. They're simply a source of humor. All these Pashandis and Gnostics in the environment. I was never fazed by any of them. I just laugh in their face. And if I felt like speaking, I'd tell them a few choice words. The best way to reply to someone's anger is to laugh. Because you're fearless. You're not afraid. Krishna's on your side. So this is what happens when you're tight with Nityananda. You feel good. Nityananda means eternally blissful, moment to moment, 24/7. 24/7 you're with Nitai, you're in heaven. isn't it? Patejata lila karilena nityanand ki varni be keva jane sakali ananta. Who can know or describe all the pastimes that Nityananda performed on the way to Bengal? Only Ananta Shesh can have some idea of these pastimes. Hinamate Nityananda Shri Ananta Dham Hailena Ganga Tire Panihati Gram. Nityananda Ananta Shesh came to Panihati on the bank of the Ganga. So, who are the famous devotees living in Panihati? Raghava Pandit and his sister Damayanti. So when one goes to a place, then naturally he wants to visit the prominent sites there and especially visit the prominent people there. Oftentimes devotees from ISKCON, they have come to meet us. And they said, we came to Govardhan for Prikrama, Darshan, Radhika and Snan. But we didn't think our Tirtha Yatra would be complete until we met you. Or sometimes they say, I came here and I want to see you. Sometimes people come here. I saw you came to Radhakund to take Snan, and they say, no, we came to see you. No, I say, okay, let's take bath in Radhakund. Raghava Pandit Grihe Sarvadhyasya Rahilena Sakala Prashadaganalaya. Nitai went to Raghava Pandit's house and he stayed along with his associates.
Yes, yes. Take back, yes, and no.
So he's like attracts like. Now that's prema. There's two characteristics of each level of devotional service. Sadhana, bhav, and prema. So with prema, one of the characteristics is Sri Krishna Sankarshani. Sri Krishna Karshani. So one who's a premi bhakta, his love is so powerful and so forceful that it pulls Krishna. Karshan, it's Krishna, it's attractive, it's gravity, it's compelling, and it forces the Lord to run to the heart, run to the side of his devotee to taste the sweetness of his heart and experience the beauty of his expressions. This is the power of love. Love is all attractive. Love is all attractive and love attracts.
Jaya Jagannath, Jagannath, Jaya Bahadeva, Jaya Shri Yashodamaya Jaya Damodara, Yashodamaya Jaya Damodara, Saraswati Devi, Goradani Prasarine, Nevesha Sonavadi, Prashtari Sadarine, Namaste Saraswati Devi, Goradani Prasarine, Nevesha Sonavadi, Prashtari Sadarine. Jai Shri Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Thank you.
Aja Vakata Vatsala Shri Gora Hari Aja Vakata Vatsala Shri Gora Hari Shri Gora Hari Sohi Goshta Bihari Shri Gora Hari Sohi Goshta Bihari Yashomati Chitahari Nanda Yashomati Chitahari Velo Halo Damodara Aisha Ekana Velo Damodara Aisha Ekana Mandir bosi kora bhojana Bhoga mandire bosi kora bhojana Mandirani deshe baise kiri baradhari Deva Saka Baise Sari Sari Baladeva Shakani Bhaji Nalita Kushmanda
Shakani Bhaji Nalita Kushmanda
Dalidana Dubha Tumbi Dadhi Mochakanda
Dalidana Dubha Tumbi Dadhi Mochakanda
Buddha Bodha Masha Bodha Ratika Gritana
Buddha Bodha Masa Bodha Ratika Gritana
Shaskuli Pishtaka Kirpuli Payasana
Shashkuli Pishaka Puli Payasana
Karpuramrita Keli Rambakira Sada Amritara Sala Amla Dvadasha Prakara Luchitini Sarpuri Radula Sabali Bhojana Korena Krishna Hoye Kutuhali Radhikara Pakana Vividha Vyanjana Parama Ananda Krishna Korena Bhojana Jale Bale Ladhukai Sri Madhu Mangala Bhagala Bhajai Yara Deyo Hari Bolo Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Radhikari Ganheri Nayane Rakhone Tripta Hoye Kai Krishna Jashoda Bhavane Bhojanante Piye Krishna Subhasita Bhari Sabe Mukha Prakalai Hoye Sari Sari Asamukha Prakaliya Jata Sakha Gane Anand Vishrama Kore Bala Devasane Jambula Rasala Ne Tambula Masala Dhake Krishna Chandra Sukhe Nidra Gela Vishalaka Shiki Puja Chamara Dulaya Apurvachayane Krishna Sukhe Nidra Jaya Yashomati Akyape Dhanishto Anito Shri Krishna Prasada Radha Kunje Hoyo Prito Lalitari Sakhi Gana Avashesha Paya Mana Mane Sukhe Radha Krishna Guna Gaya Hari Lila Ekmatra Jara Pramoda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,